You, Caroline, as a former Conservative, why did you jump ship?
Well, I've been a Conservative for decades. I've had the same values as I've always held, and I feel like the Conservative Party no longer represents those values. And I suppose, more importantly for me, I got into politics because I wanted to make a change. I wanted to make a difference, make the communities better that I represent, and I feel that I can no longer do that under the Conservative banner.
Why not?
Because I feel there's no aspiration there. They were in government for 14 years. They didn't perform the way I would have liked them to. They've spent a year in opposition. We've got a terrible Labour government that they haven't done much to challenge in the interim. And then all of a sudden, conference week, you're seeing, you know, all of these policies suddenly being thrown out at the 11th hour because they're doing so terribly in the polls. And I just don't believe what they say anymore. And even if what they're saying is true, really, is anyone listening? I think it just might be too little too late.
Darren Selkis, of course, a lot of people in the Reform movement are saying we thought that the Reform Party would be not just the Tories Mark II. It's meant to be about changing politics for good. What would you say to the critics today who said, well, if the Conservative Party is dead, why are so many Conservatives being accepted into Reform?
Well, it's not just Conservatives, it's Labour as well. In fact, in Hartsmith, plenty of Labour supporters are joining us. The two areas we won in the most recent election in May, the two divisions we won were Labour held. So we're winning Labour votes just as much as Conservatives. It just happens that Caroline and Brett, who joined today, are Conservative councillors. But they're not the only ones in the pipeline, Martin.
What, you got some lefties on the way?
I hope so, because you know when it's not about left or right in politics anymore. People want something new. The Conservatives don't represent the people they used to. Labour certainly don't represent the working class. People have had enough and want something different, and that's what Reform is offering.
Can I ask you, I understand that your patch, I think I'm right in saying, has the highest percentage of Jewish residents of any UK parliamentary constituency, and we're seeing, as we speak, on October the 7th, incredibly, 2 years to the day, we're seeing British students across campuses shouting from the river to the sea. We've got a guest on the show later on who filmed a woman in North London yesterday cutting down yellow ribbons for Israeli hostages. I'm astonished that this is happening. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm absolutely appalled by the demonstrations that are happening today on the anniversary of the atrocities of the 7th of October, the demonstrations that happened, the atrocity that happened in Manchester on Yom Kippur when people were demonstrating that day. But most importantly, I mean, one of the things that actually drew me to the Reform Party that I really stood by was the fact that they were the only party who have been saying for the last 2 years since they started that we shouldn't be having these hate marches on a weekly basis, which are making the Jewish community feel very uncomfortable to go into London of a weekend. So they're the only party that have called for that. And all of a sudden this week, you've seen the Conservatives are talking about it, the Labour Party are talking about it. But it just seems too late because for 2 years, the Jewish community have been looking for those kinds of answers and looking for people to say these are hate marches and they need to be stopped.
Darren.